Hey YouTube, Jason here from TheApphub with another app review. So when smartphones first came out, a lot of business users were using them to check their emails, word processing, spreadsheet editing, PowerPoint editing. But these smartphones of now are all about apps, playing games, social networking, Facebooking, Twittering, sharing pictures and music. And really, the focus has moved away from productivity. And there's probably a couple of reasons for that. I mean, since the iPhone 4 has been out, there hasn't really been a unifying app for word processing. I mean, there are apps in the App Store, but I mean, there's always issues with compatibility and sharing. And doing word processing on the 3.5-inch screen probably isn't the most ideal situation for a lot of users. But as of May 31st, 2011, Apple has taken gigantic strides to create a viable solution for those people looking to do word processing, spreadsheet editing, and creating PowerPoint presentations on their iPhone 4s. So Apple has updated the iPad versions of Pages, Numbers, and Keynotes to be compatible with the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch. So Pages, Numbers, and Keynote currently sit at positions number 1, 2, and 3 respectively on the productivity section of the iTunes Store. Each app is $9.99, and it was created by Apple. These are universal apps, meaning that they'll work on the iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch, and they require iOS 4.2 or later to run. So this review will focus on Pages, as I feel it's probably the most popular app of the three. So when you first load up Pages on the iPhone 4, you'll be presented with the Getting Started document, like you can see here. Basically, this just gives you an overview of the new features that you can find in Pages. So anyone that has used Pages on the iPad will be instantly familiar with the interface of Pages on the iPhone 4. At the same time, brand new users of Pages will definitely appreciate the simple and intuitive design of the app. So in the top left corner, you'll see the Documents button. This is where you can create new documents and find the ones you've already made. One of the great features of Pages is the fact that Pages will automatically save your work as you go along. So if your phone dies because there's no battery or crashes for whatever reason, you can rest assured that your work is still saved in the app. So to the right of the document button, you'll see 3 different buttons which will allow you to edit your document, add things like pictures, documents, and charts, let you email your documents, as well as print them to a printer. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at the button with the eye in the middle. Essentially, this is your editing button if you want to make changes to your document. The really cool thing about this button is actually it is contextual. So what that means is depending on what you have selected, this button will have different features when you press it. So for example, if we go ahead and tap the Pages icon by tapping on the screen to select it and then tapping on the I button or the editing button to bring up the editing menu, you'll see right away that it brings up a menu that we can actually add a style to our picture. So we go ahead and select the different options. I'm not sure if you guys can see on the screen, but the really cool thing about Pages is it will actually update the picture with the style that you selected. So you can get a preview of what your picture is going to look like. If we go ahead and tap Style Options on the bottom, there gives us the option if we want to add a border. So if we go ahead and select on, it's going to give us additional features if we want to add color, adjust the width, if we want a dotted or a solid line border. If we go ahead and hit Effects on the right there, we can actually go ahead and add a shadow to our picture, add a reflection, and change the opacity of it. So we go ahead and hit back to go back to the previous menu. Then we go ahead and tap on the Arrange button on top. So if we had multiple pictures, we can actually adjust them accordingly to how we want them to be presented in our article. As well, we also have the option to flip vertically or flip horizontally, or reset a mask or edit the mask. So if we want to go ahead and exit out of this menu, all we have to do is tap the upside down triangle on the right there. And what that does, it will just close the menu and take us back to our picture. So if we go ahead and scroll down the document a little bit till we find a paragraph, you can select the entire paragraph by triple tapping it, and then pressing the editing button. It's going to bring us to the same menu that we saw before. So right here, you'll see at the top it says Style, List, and Layout. Under Style, we have the option to bold, italicize, underline, or strike through. If you scroll down a little bit, you can also set whether the paragraph is a title, subtitle, heading, heading 2, or subheading. And this is good when you want to do a mass edit of your Word document. And if we scroll down to the very bottom, we also have the option to do text options. And by clicking on that, we can actually adjust the font size, change the font color, and change the font type. So we just go back one screen and go to List. So if we have a list, we can actually change the bullet heads as well. And if we go to Layout, Here we can adjust the alignment, and as well if we're making a document with several columns, we can change that as well, and also adjust the line spacing. So we'll just go ahead and hit the upside down triangle to exit out of this menu. So as you can see, depending on what you have selected, the editing menu will change the options that are available. So also if you had something like a graph or a chart, if you tapped on the chart and hit the editing button, it would take you to the option to edit the information on the chart. So if we go ahead and go back to our toolbar and select the icon, the button that looks like a picture frame, that's going to take us to our media button. And here we can select different types of pictures that we want to insert into our document. If you have something on your camera roll, your photo library, this is where you can insert them. And at the top there, you'll see media, tables, charts, and shapes. So we go ahead and select tables. And if we slide to the right, we can see the different types of tables that we have. Same thing for charts, and same thing for shapes. So we'll just go ahead and hit the upside down triangle to exit out of this. So if we go ahead and tap the wrench icon in the top right corner, this takes us to the tools menu. Here we can set our share and printing options as well as other options that will affect our document. So if we go ahead and tap into the share and printing menu, here you go, shows you all different ways that we can share our document, whether it be through email or through iTunes or iDisk or one of the other ways that it shows there. So if we go back to the document, I can show you a couple of other features that are part of Pages. So if we go ahead and select a picture by tapping on it, you'll notice that there's 8 little blue dots that pop up. These dots, by pressing our fingers on these dots, this allows us to change the size of the picture. We can also, by tapping and holding the picture, we can also move it, and our text will automatically wrap around the picture accordingly. And in addition to that, if you don't like what you just did, what you can do is just shake your iPhone, and it brings up the undo menu that you've seen in other applications, and just hit undo, and it will just undo your previous step. Also, if you tap and hold anywhere along the right edge of the screen, this brings up something called the navigator. And what this does, this lets you quickly scroll through your document while giving you a preview what page you're looking at. And once you let go, it automatically goes to that page. So let's go ahead and tap the document button, and this takes us to the Pages main menu. And this is where we can see all the different documents that we've been working on. So like iOS, Pages has implemented the ability to create folders, which is another way to sort your documents. So like on your iPhone, all you have to do is tap and hold a document until it starts wiggling, and then drag it on top of another document, and then it creates a folder which you can rename accordingly. So you'll also notice that there's a plus sign on the top right corner. So by tapping on that, that gives us the option to create a new document. So you can see right here, there's a couple of different options. We can create a blank document or select from one of the preset templates that Pages provides for us. So overall, Pages is probably the best word processor I've seen for the iPhone 4. I mean, in addition to its simple and intuitive design, you're going to get a word processor with all the bells and whistles of your desktop word processor. While it might not replace it, it's definitely great for someone looking to do editing on the go. So as always, if you guys have questions about the app specifically, please comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys want to see any specific apps being reviewed on my channel, please email me at TheApphub@gmail.com and I'll do my best to get something out for you. If you guys like what you see, please comment below, rate my video, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, guys, we'll see you again. Peace.